Jalen Alexander Hurts always delivers when you doubt on him. Folks in Philly were saying start Tanner McKee. People on Twitter were trolling and said Jamar Chase on Thursday had a Jalen Hurts stat line. I heard that Jalen Hurts was a bottom 10 quarterback. We had to hear the trolling, the hate, the folks that finally came out the closet to hate on Hurts because he had a bad game in over 2 years. For 10 days, they went crazy. For 10 days, they were going off. Little did they know that when they doubt Jalen Hurts, he performs his best. He had 326 passing yards. DeVonta Smith had 180 receiving yards. He was phenomenal. A.J. Brown had a $120 and 2 tutties. I think the one mistake Hurts might have had was on one of those last plays of the game. He kind of underthrew A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown could have had 3 touchdowns. Now, it didn't really matter because they're running down the clock. But A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Jalen Hurts were on the money. But going back to my initial point and what I opened this episode with, Jalen Hurts, when you doubt him, is honestly the best quarterback in the NFL. There is nobody I want on my team when they are doubted, when they are looked at as not that good, as mid, as overrated. I felt like the most disrespectful thing I've heard in the Jalen Hurts discourse was that he's Justin Fields with better talent around him. And ultimately, while I hate the trolling, while I despise the doubters, ultimately, those same doubters help fuel Jalen Hurts. It is not a coincidence that last game when Jalen Hurts missed DeVonta Smith and the whole internet was crapping on him, that the following game, he has a 79-yard bomb to DeVonta Smith, the longest touchdown of DeVonta Smith's career. DeVonta had a $180. A.J. Brown had 2 touchdowns, a $120. It's not a coincidence that the whole freaking week and a half that y'all was doubting on Jalen Hurts, he had a perfect passer rating. That's damn good for a running back. Come on, man. Come on, man. And this is why, through thick and thin, we always support Jalen Hurts because we know he can do this. It's never about can he. We know he can. You might not like that it's not as often as some other quarterbacks, maybe a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow. You might not like that it's not as frequent as those guys, but best believe Hurts can do it. And he's shown it multiple times. And this also brings a larger point about the Eagles and how they should do things moving forward. And the Eagles have no choice but to rely on Jalen Hurts. They have no choice but to rely on the passing game because that interior O-line is banged up and has regressed from last season. I mean, hell, Saquon's best run of the game got held back because Tyler Steen held somebody. Their most effective way to run the ball is that outside zone. But like the running game isn't as prolific as it was last season. It's not that Saquon has taken a step back. He's the same guy. But if you're getting hit before you get to the line of scrimmage, that's pretty damn hard to deal with. And you're facing stacked boxes that are focused on Saquon Barkley not going off. So you have to rely on Jalen Hurts, who's making $250 million to be the guy. He is the guy, and he has to take you there. I saw him in 2022 be relied upon to take the Eagles there, and he did, and was a James Bradbury holding call away from winning Super Bowl MVP and his first championship. But a couple years later, he got that championship. He got that Super Bowl MVP, and he's showing why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. I got him top 3 in the league right now. Now, let's just talk about the flows of this game because I wanted to start this off with Hurts, but this game wasn't pretty for much of this game. For real. I mean, that first half was atrocious. Like, all right, you got the one jaw with AJ 37-yard touchdown first drive of the game. That was a scramble drill. That wasn't any scheme with it. That was just great players, making a heads up play and great players making great plays. That's what that was. After that, I have the stat on my phone because it was terrible. First drive was 12 plays for 75 yards, 1 touchdown. The 4 drives since were 13 plays for 27 yards. So, yes, I'm happy about the Eagles winning this game. I am happy about Jalen Hurts having one of his best games passing wise in over a year. But we also have to talk about the inconsistencies in this offense are going to bite the Eagles in the ass when they play a great quarterback. Like Carson Wentz was a double agent. Like, you can't convince me that the Eagles and Howie was like, yo, Wentz, like, we drafted you, all that. Like, do us a favor, just sell the game. We'll like give you some money under the table. Because he was that ass. I mean, on their first drive of the game, I believe, Jordan Addison had 2 touchdowns. Just doesn't throw it to him. Matter of fact, I'm tripping. He threw it to him, but both of those passes were off target. The first, John, it wasn't off target, but it was well underthrown. Then he had Addison in the flat, I believe. That was off target. So Carson Wentz had several bonehead plays. Talk about that pick 6. Jalen Hurts does a phenomenal job in coverage. I'll talk about him real quick. Jalen Carr does a phenomenal job in the interior getting pressed to Carson Wentz. Wentz throws a pick 6. Jalen Hurts goes to the crib. 14-3 Eagles, off and rolling. The next drive, this guy rolls to the right, is trying so hard to make a play when there's not a play to be made. And that was an easy interception for Andrew Makuba. So this was a guy in Carson Wentz that you look at the box score and he had 313 passing yards. He was not good. Like, he was pretty bad. He got better in the second half. But, I mean, he had a wide open guy in the flat for a touchdown. I think it gets called grounding. They got to settle for a field goal instead. So with a great quarterback, you're not going to get let off the hook like this. So there are still concerns with the offense. And when I say concerns, I'm dead ass. And it's actually a compliment to the talent the Eagles have that, yes, you scored 28 points, but you scored 28 points and had 326 passing yards. And AJ and Smitty, they went off, and y'all still did not have a complete game from start to finish. Yeah, y'all have a complete game from start to finish. Like, that's how great this Eagles team is. So I'm still looking at that. Kevin Patullo. I mean, I've said it during the game. I stand by it. I don't believe that the Eagles can win a Super Bowl with Patullo calling plays. I can't. I know that the Dolphins lost to the Browns, got their asses beat, and I think that Kevin Patullo, he could get swapped out for Mike McDaniel. Now, it's a little bit harder now because Hurts coming off his best game this season, and the Eagles had a prolific day offensively with AJ and Smitty. But I would still make that move, bro. I would still make that move from Mike McDaniel. He would bring more creativeness to this team, dog. He would. I just don't really believe in KP. I think that he is relying on the tush push to bail him out, and he relies on ultra talented players to continue to bail him out. That's just what it is for me. Now, defensively, I felt like the Eagles had a pretty good game. Jordan Addison went off, but let's talk about Cooper Deen real quick. Cooper Deen, 1-on-1 with Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the NFL. What's Cooper Deen do? Knocks the ball out of his hands. He saves a touchdown. And when you think about Cooper Deen, his highlight reel in his young career is insane. He done locked up Jamar Chase. He done dunked Derrick Henry. He had a pick six in the Super Bowl. One-on-one in coverage, Vic Fangio trusts him to go up against Justin Jefferson. I mean, what can't this guy do? He's one of the best open field tacklers in the NFL. He is phenomenal in man-to-man coverage. Tough as nails. Fan favorite. Great nickname, Coop. Great celebration. What more do you want from the guy? And I said it before, I'll say it again. I feel like Howie Roseman drafting Cooper Deen and Quinyon Mitchell made him a tad bit cocky because he thought I can just turn any young player or I can just draft any young player and they'll be stars like them, which is why you let go of Isaiah Rodgers. Now, today might not be the day to say re-sign. Y'all should have re-signed Isaiah Rodgers because DeVonta and AJ, they cooked Isaiah Rodgers. Oh my gosh. I mean, hey, and Zay been having a phenomenal season. But what that just showed me was they knew Isaiah Rodgers' tendencies dating back to practice. All them battles in training camp, OTAs, or whether it's middle of the season, during practice, like AJ and Smitty, they know they know Isaiah Rodgers. They know him for sure. So it was kind of funny that they was really cooking him like that. But I still think that back to my main point with Howie and these young players, you let go of Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay because you believe in Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo is not Coop, is not Q. You let go of Josh Sweat because you believe in Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. I think Jalix Hunt is a good depth piece, and I don't want to really crap on the guy because he had a pick six in this game, and obviously it was his best game as a pro, but he has struggled against the run off the edges, and he has struggled getting pressure to the quarterback. I would rather have him as like a depth piece. Like if you got Hunt as a depth piece, you got a damn good team. If he's starting, now it's like, all right, if Nolan or one of these guys gets down, you don't have that same depth as well. So I think trusting in young guys is what the Eagles have done this season. And I get that you want to just, shed some costs. You don't want to just pay all these old guys, but I think there has been a couple of occasions, Mekhi Becton, Isaiah Rodgers. Hey, like you signed that guy. Even with Mekhi Becton, I know he's been banged up this year, but like you got Brett Toth inside the interior offensive line, like he's your left guard, or he's your right guard, or he's the center. Like I would much rather have Mekhi Becton in the interior offensive line for that. Or you have Tyler Steen as a depth piece. And Tyler Steen, he hasn't been like amazing. He hasn't been bad, but he's definitely not Mekhi Becton. But I think with this offensive line, like there's some issues that we have to talk about. I think the biggest thing with them is not being able to establish the run game, but they're pretty good at pass blocking. They're pretty damn good at pass blocking, which goes back to my original point in this episode. You have to lean into Jalen Hurts because he is a guy that can throw the damn ball. And when your offensive line is great at pass blocking, or if you want to say not great, if you want to say, hey, like they're pretty good above average, you got to lean into that. So that's what they got to do. I'm looking forward to that. Talked about Hurts mentality. Talked about DeVonta and AJ just cooking Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, DeVonta Smith on that 79-yard touchdown, he shook Isaiah Rodgers. He did. AJ Brown ended the game that 45-yard pass to him, AJ Hurts. I mean, look, Isaiah Rodgers got cooked again. Again, it goes back to my point a little bit earlier. These guys know Zay. They know Zay, bruh. And it goes back to them practices, all of that stuff. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I still think that was funny. But especially on that Smitty 79-yard touchdown. I mean, the way that DeVonta Smith moves, the way DeVonta Smith moves, it's like a gazelle. It's just poetry in motion. I mean, when he runs, it doesn't feel like he's really running that hard. And he be cooking these DBs, dog. He's really a wide receiver one. This season, it's been wide receiver 1A, 1B. Pick your poison, whatever game you want. But these guys have been amazing this season when they've gotten the targets, when they've gotten the opportunities. AJ hasn't missed a step. DeVonta Smith hasn't missed a step. These guys are like that. So let's give them that respect. I think one of the turning points in the game was when it was 3rd and 13 and AJ Brown caught the pass off platform by Jalen Hurts for a first down. And those are the plays that you pay Jalen Hurts $250 million to make those plays. And I believe at that point it was let me check. I think it was 21-19. And the Vikings had a bunch of momentum. If you go 3 and out, all the momentum is going to the Vikings. So that was a huge play by Jalen Hurts there that gave the Eagles momentum. And then you see the bomb to Smitty, and you see what he did with AJ Brown for his 3rd touchdown of the day. So, I mean, he was great. I still want to see better stuff from the run game. I mean, Tank Bigsby had 1 carry for 11 yards. Dog, he had the longest run of the day on the Eagles. All I'm saying is, can the guy get 4, 5, 6 carries? Mix it up a little bit? And I'm confused as to why he started on the Eagles as a return specialist when he was a pretty damn good running back too for Jacksonville. Will Shipley has not shown me he can be a running back too. A.J. Dillon this season hasn't shown me he can be a running back too. So the spot is up for grabs. So for a guy that has extensive experience in the backfield, why are we barely giving him any opportunities? I would love to see him in the backfield. I don't want to see him on no kickoff return. I think Xavier Gipson, he earned that spot. He had long of 37. So he was pretty damn good today. He had 5 returns, 128 yards. So, he was effective, and this was a great signing by the Eagles. So I don't want to ever see Tank Bigsby on a kickoff return. But what I do want to see is that guy in the backfield as running back too. You should be able to do that. You pay, you ain't pay him, but you are paying him, but you traded for this guy to use him. So you got to use the guy. What are we talking about? So that's what that is there. And I have a couple other things. I felt like this wasn't the best Nick Sirianni game. And the play calling and the scariness fried me. Now, we saw when the Eagles got aggressive, great things happened. Play action. The defense is expecting that you're running the ball because that's what you've done all freaking game, taking no deep shots. And then, boom, DeVonta Smith, 80 yards to the crib. Hey, 3rd and 9. Essentially, it's if you don't get this first down, you're giving the ball back to the Vikings with the chance to win it with a touchdown. Deep ball to A.J. Brown ices the game. When the Eagles are aggressive, and what did Saquon say? Get out of the mindset of being scary, of worrying about what the opposing defense is doing versus establishing your dominance. It's night and day. We see how great the Eagles they can be. So I want Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni to stay aggressive, Stay aggressive. Smitty's great. AJ's great. Hurts is amazing. Saquon's amazing. Dallas Goedert's a top 5 tight end, in my opinion. Like, lean into these guys. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is Real Talk with MJ. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Andrew Makuba, 1 second. Andrew Makuba is like a young CJ Gardner-Johnson. He really is. And I don't want to say it's a good thing, but a lot of the same mistakes that CJ Gardner-Johnson made, or a lot of the things that made Eagles fans be like, I'm cool with moving off from him, Makuba is doing like on a regular basis. Like, Makuba had the pick, but Jettas had hella yak. Why? Because this guy Makuba just misses the tackle. Like, Makuba gotta go to Cooper Deen and learn how to tackle right. Because it's been a couple of times this season that, whether it was Wan'Dale Robinson, I believe, last week, now it's Jettas. Again, it is Jettas. But, dog, go for the legs, dog. Stop going for the upper body. So we got to, like, figure that out. Some botch coverages in that Buccaneers game. So I would still like to see CJ Gardner-Johnson come back. It might be some baggage that Howie doesn't want to bring on. And I get it. But at the end of the day, bro, like, I'm a little bit biased. I like CJ, bro. I would bring him back, even to have him in the slot and have Cooper Deen on the outside. So I'm going to look at some more tape. I know Cooper Deen had a pretty damn good game. I feel like he was showing up. But I'm happy about where the Eagles are headed. But at the end of the day, there's some work to be done. 5-2. I think Jalen Hurts should be in the MVP conversation. This guy has 16 total touchdowns, 11 passing touchdowns. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. The Eagles are 5-2. What more do you want? What more do you want? He should be in the conversation. And he has been one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL this year. It's just the facts. It's been him and Baker Mayfield. So keep doubting, keep hating. I'm going to keep supporting one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And Jalen Hurts, like we said to start this episode, when you doubt him, when you disrespect him, it only fuels the fire of that talented brother from Houston, Texas, that took Carson Wentz's spot. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're talking MJ. You know, I always keep it real. Hey, Brandon Graham, he joined Real Talk, and now it's talking about he wants to come back. I'll talk about that too tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.